Hello YouTuber subscribers and friends, welcome to my channel. The solar lights are gone and I have no idea who took them. I have looked for tracks over there. I can't find any tracks, although somebody said they saw some quad tracks there. Those quad tracks have been there forever. It's from the kids that live back there. People say you should get the electric fence. This fence right here cost me $300 some to install this fence, which I haven't even finished because I need more wire. And it's getting to be expensive just to protect my property. So I have security cameras. That cost me a lot of money, and to have that monitored and everything installed. But the cameras don't point to this part of the property because there's nothing here. I put this fence up to keep people out, and because people would pull the cars in, do donuts and stuff like this, or park. The guy in the back used to park cars here for sale, and that's one of the reasons why I put this fence up. So I didn't really have any cameras pointing over here because I didn't have anything over here. Then I put those solar lights here, which were 97 cents each, and there's 4 of them. So it was like, you know, I'm not even worried about, you know, having a camera over here because it's not necessary. So when I put that video up about the pit bulls in my yard again, a lot of stuff has happened since I put that video up. I mean, a lot of stuff. After I uploaded that video, about an hour after I uploaded that video. Oh, by the way, did I say how beautiful a day it is? It's 85 degrees right now at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's friggin' hot. Anyways, the neighbor that lives over there, he called me. And he wasn't happy when he called me because he was pretty much yelling at me on the phone that, listen, when your dog gets home and it's injured, it's because I shot it with the pellet gun. I said, shot it with the pellet gun? Why would you shoot it with the pellet gun? He said, well, your 2 dogs were attacking my cat. They had it pinned under the steps of my house, and poor thing, it's in trauma right now. I said, well, what are you talking about? I was standing in the backyard when he called me, and he's like, your dogs, they were just over here. I said, no, they're not. I'm in the backyard with my dogs right now. I got all 3 of my dogs are in the backyard with me. And he's like, well, I just shot him just like 2 minutes ago. I'm like, that's impossible. My dogs are in the backyard, they can't get out. I said, what kind of dogs were they? He said, 2 pit bulls. I said, no. Dude, shoot them dogs again because they're not my dogs. He's like, they're not your dogs. Whose dogs are they? I said, they're the people that live in the back there where the old neighbor Mikey used to live, who he used to have a problem with, a war with. And he's like, because he didn't know that Mikey had moved out. He's like, Mikey's got pit bulls now? I'm like, no, it's a completely different family that lives there. And then he walked over here to this fence, and we were talking to each other right here across this wash. And he's like, when did they move in? So I jumped the wall and I came over and I talked to him. And I told him what I've been dealing with these pit bulls. And he's like, well, listen, I got the landlord's phone number, his name and phone number and address and everything. You want it? And I said, yeah, sure, cool, if you could give it to me. So he got it off his phone, he gave it to me. And I told him, yeah, if they come in your yard again, shoot them. I don't have a gun to shoot them, but he's like, yeah, I shot them several times with the pellet gun, but it's like it was bouncing off of their butts and stuff. Look at this bird right here. And I was like, yeah, man, I was just watching videos on pit bulls. And I saw a video where a guy was banging the pit bull was fighting another dog, banging it on the head with a bat. It was hitting like 10-15 times on the head, and the pit bull would not let go. And then the police came up and tried to tase the pit bull and did nothing. And then he pepper sprayed it in the face, right in the nostrils, did nothing. He was just shaking the dog. It was the Siberian Husky. And the Siberian Husky looked like it was dead. And the pit bull was just shaking him, and everybody was kicking and banging and shocking it, and nothing. The pit bull wasn't doing anything. Wasn't even phasing him. And it was a gory video. I had my wife watch it and stuff, and it just stressed her out even more. But yeah, it just... So he gave me the number, and oh, the dogs are still there. She told me, lady lies. She lied to me. Anyways, I'll get to that. There he is looking right at me. The lady lied to me. She came over my house last night. Anyways, I will get to that. I called the landlord and I told the landlord, because I've told these people 4 times already. 3 times I was nice, the 4th time I wasn't nice. I laid it out on her son, her youngest son. I mean, I chewed his ass out about these pit bulls, and I told him I'm not gonna be nice anymore. That's it. I'm done. You know, you do something with these dogs, or else we're gonna have a legal problem. And I didn't know at the time if he would tell his mother, but found out later he did. But anyways, I called up the landlord and I explained to him. He said he had no clue that she had dogs, because the story is this: she's supposed to be living here with 2 daughters. She has 8 kids, but she told the landlord that all her kids are growing up except for the 2 daughters. I have yet to see the mother living here. I've seen her twice, the day they moved in and then last night. That's the only 2 times I've seen the woman. And I've never seen daughters here. I've only seen 4 boys living here. And freaking bird flying over. And I told the landlord that, and he's like, well, I don't know, that's not what she told me. She told me she was renting it for her and her daughters. I'm like, no, I haven't seen her living here. I just seen the boys, and they're pretty rambunctious over here. Play the loud music, and they like to peel out, and they like to haul ass up and down the driveway here. Oh, Jerry. Quit barking. They're barking at Mrs. Kravitz over there. Anyways, I called up the landlord and I explained to the landlord what's been going on. He said he had no clues that she had dogs or who was living there. He doesn't even live in this town. He lives in Tucson, which is, 30 minutes from here. But I just, right off the bat, I told him, I said, listen, Mr. Landlord, I won't say his name. I said, I'm going to explain to you what's going on, and I'm at the point where I'm not even going to take it anymore. So since you're the landlord and you're responsible for your tenants, I would tell you this. This is the first time that I've told you or spoke to you about this. So I hope this is going to be the last time. But the next step that I'm going to take is I'm going to get a lawyer involved. And if anything happens to my dogs or anyone in my family, I'm going to sue you as the landlord. And he's like, well, why are you going to sue me? I haven't done anything. He was all pissed off. I said, well, first off, before I go any further, I'm recording this conversation for my protection so that you cannot say that we haven't had this conversation. He said, why do you got to do that? I said, because, listen, these pit bulls are very vicious, and it's obvious that these people that you're renting to don't care about anything that I've asked them nicely, and they don't care about these vicious dogs. If they're going to do, not only if they're doing stuff to me and my pets, but they try to kill the guy's cat over there. The people who live in the very, very back over here, they totally just freaking beat the hell out of a little white dog that lives back there. So he said he didn't know any of that, so I said, I'm telling you that right now. And if I have to deal with these tenants one more time about their dogs, not only am I going to sue you, I'm going to sue them also, because I'm not playing games here. I take my family's life very seriously, and it's quite obvious that this lady has lied to you. Her and her daughters aren't living here. Her 4 sons are living here, and all 4 of them I have talked to each different times, telling them about these dogs. I repaired this where the dogs have came in before. This came in before. I just went and closed that gate myself because it was wide open, because they still do not know how to keep the gates closed. And there's a guy, he's home there, he's in the window, he just was watching me as I was closing it. I didn't know the dogs were home because they didn't bark when I came in to close the gate. So it's getting to where they don't care. So I talked to him last night and he said, well, okay, don't worry about it, I will handle this. I will take care of this, because this is the first time I ever heard of this, so I will deal with this and take care of it. Well, fast forward 6 hours later in the day, I get another phone call from the landlord, and I recorded it also. I'm not going to play any of those recordings on my YouTube channel, but he called back and said he talked to the lady. He gave her an ultimatum. He told her she's got to get rid of the dogs or she has to get out of the house. He's going to evict her. He gave her 30 days. And I said 30 days, those dogs could do a lot of damage between now and 30 days. So, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just telling you this. 30 days is a long time. They haven't even been here 30 days. I think they've been here 2 weeks so far and had this much problems with them already. That poor, I haven't seen the white dog that they attacked right here. They shook it like a rag dog and threw it around, and they took off running that way. I have yet to see it. That was three, maybe 4 days ago that's happened. But that little white dog always comes in my yard and sniffs around my dog's gate and plays with my dogs, but that one doesn't bother me because it's not vicious. So he said he would call back the lady over here. I'm not going to say what her name is. I know what it is, but she came up to my house last night about 7 o'clock in the evening. She knocked on my door, and I came to the door with my camera in my hand. And as soon as I opened the door, I had the camera pointed right at her, and she's like, can I ask why you have me on your video camera? I said, because I'm documenting every encounter that I have with you and your dogs, and every conversation that I have you and with your landlord. And she's like, so you did call my landlord? I said, yes, I did. And she said, why did you call my landlord before you talked to me? And I said, listen, Mrs. Pitbull owner, I've talked to you 3 different times, your family 3 different times about these dogs. And the 4th time was when I talked to your youngest son, and now I'm talking to you about your dogs again. So I'm documenting everything because, like I told the landlord, I'm not playing around with you guys. I'm taking this very seriously. You guys are going to make me go out and purchase a gun, and I'm going to physically shoot your dogs in the head. And she said, well, why you got to say that? I said, because I'm tired of warning you guys what I'm going to do, and it's quite clear that you guys don't care. She's like, well, we're going to keep the dogs locked up. I'm like, I look out the door and I look at the gate, and I'm like, you don't even have the gate closed. Your dogs are running around freely in the yard right now, and your gate is open, and you're talking to me that you're going to keep the dogs locked up. That is a joke. And she's like, oh, yeah, I forgot to close it when I came all over here to talk to you. And I was like, see, the time it took you to walk over to talk to me, your dogs could get out and they could have injured or killed something or someone else. You guys, you don't understand how mean your dogs and vicious your dogs are. And she's like, well, you know, I rescued them from the pound. They're rescue dogs. I'm like, they're rescue dogs? So it is even more clear to me that you have no idea the history of these dogs. You don't know what these dogs have been through or put through since you adopted them, and she's only had them since the amount of time she's lived here, which freaked me out even more. So I told her, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you like I told the landlord on the phone, which I just got off the phone with him before you knocked on the door, that my next step is 1, to buy a gun, 2, to contact a lawyer, and if anything happens to me, my family, or my animals, I'm going to sue you, and I'm going to sue the landlord. And she's like, well, why can't you just give me a chance? Why can't you just give me some time to do something with the dogs? I said, I've asked you kindly, very nicely, 3 times. The 4th time I yelled at your son, your youngest son, because I'm sick and tired of this crap. And I'm not going to deal with it or put up with it anymore. I'm not going to wait till your dogs do something very serious to me, my family, or one of my pets. You know? And she's like, I understand, but did you have to be so mean? I said, yeah, I have to be very mean because it's quite clear that you guys don't care. And the landlord, when I was talking to her, called again as I was talking to her, and he wanted to know if she was coming over to talk to me. I said, yeah, she's here right now. I'm talking to her right now. And she was listening to me talk to the landlord. And I said, I'm telling her the same thing that I've told you, that I will sue both of you because of these dogs if they come in my yard and injure anybody in my family or my animals, because I'm not playing games with anybody anymore. I'm tired of being nice, because being Mr. Nice is not getting me anything done. And as I talk to her right now, and she's listening to me talk to you on the phone, her gate is open right now, and her dogs are running around free in the yard as we speak. And he's like, can I talk to her on the phone? I said, I'll put on speaker and you can talk. And he asked her, he's like, Mrs. whatever, you know, Mrs. Tennant, is it true your dogs are running around free right now in your yard? And she's like, yeah, but I forgot to close the gate. And he's like, all right, that's all I need to hear. And then he told me, Marco, do whatever you need to do. And I've given Mrs. Tennant the ultimatum, get rid of the dogs or get out of my house. He said this over the phone as I was talking to her, so she heard him say it. I heard him say it. My wife was standing next to me, heard him say it, and I have it on video of them saying it. So I'm protecting myself legally, and they all know it. They all know I'm recording this stuff. And a lot of people have said, well, you should call the cops. Listen, I call the cops. I call the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department don't come out for non-emergency things. If they do, they'll take forever to get here. They told me to call the animal control, and I called the animal control. The animal control said this: they can come out. I set up an appointment. They will come out and take a look at the situation. Or if it's an emergency, to call 911. If the dogs are actually attacking someone, call 911. Then the police will come immediately. But unless it's an emergency, I have to set up an appointment. They will come out. They will talk to the people. They will give them a verbal warning. The second time, they will issue them a citation to appear in court, which I have to go to court too. And then if they don't do something like lock them up or get rid of them, or chain them up or something like that, then they will get issued a citation which could run from anywhere from $50 to $500. This is what they told me on the phone, and they asked me, what would you like to do? Would you like to set up an appointment for the animal control? Because I live so far out in the country, they have to set up an appointment. I said, no, I tell you what, I'll just handle this my own. And because I'm not going to go to court just to get them to have a citation, you know. I've been trying to work with these people, you know, to do something with these dogs. And I hear somebody yelling at somebody over there. Anyway, so the landlord called me again this morning, and this is why I'm making this video, this update, to let me know that he's told them that they have to move out unless they get rid of the dogs. They cannot have the dogs any longer. The dogs have to go, or they have to go. So we'll see what happens. But until then, I have talked to my wife about purchasing a gun, and we're going to look into that, because I'm not a violent person unless I'm pushed to that extreme to where I have to do something that I don't want to do. But I don't have a problem executing that violence if I have to. I'm an animal lover. Freaking plane flying over. I'm an animal lover, and I would hate to have to take the life of these dogs, even though they're vicious dogs. But I'll do it. And I won't think twice about it, because when I woke up that morning, they were fighting with my dogs right here, and the tan one was up almost over this fence. And if you don't believe me that pit bulls can climb, just Google pit bulls climbing wall on YouTube. There's a pit bull that can climb straight up 30 feet and grab a tire and then drop to the ground. They can jump distances, gaps 5 feet wide. They can jump from one side to the other side easy, no problem. And the black one, the vicious one, the most vicious one of the two, had his mouth, and he was shaking this with his paws up here. He was shaking, and Josie was attacking him through the gate. Brownie was dealing with this one, and Jerry was trying to get to this dog also. Jerry and Josie were taking on the black one here. And I banged that trash can so hard, and the one that was on here jumped down and ran that way. And then the black one didn't even care, so I came over and I hit the basketball thing here. Then he turned around and then he came at me, and then I smacked the ground right in front of me and him. That freaked him out, and he ran that way. And I chased him all the way to the fence, and I finally chased him out and went that way. And then as I was walking back, he came back at me. And then I went after him again with the bat and chased him. And then when I was walking back over here, then I saw the kid come. He was walking home, and that's when I started yelling at him. So there's one of the sons right there. But that's what's going on, and if nothing changes, I'll make another update, let you know what's going on. But that's what I'm dealing with right now. Not only is it me, but I have this neighbor over here. He's also says he's going to call animal control, and we'll deal with this together, because they almost killed his cat. He said they almost killed the cat out of fear, and the cat was pinned underneath the stairs. And yeah, he thought the dogs were mine. I think it's funny. Anyways, thanks for taking the time to watch my video. As always, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't cost anything. It's free. And I'm gone. Get going.